guys, it's Jerningam here. Could a no-deal Brexit be the beginning of the end? So yeah, and as you guys can see on there, the Brexit could be no deal be the end. Go click on it.
Season X is here.
Nope, wrong one. Went to the wrong bloody thing.
As a financial firm, you know it's your customer relationships that drive your business. And it's the service that these customers experience when they're being onboarded that is key to you building and sustaining long-term and profitable relationships. That's where we can help. We understand the time pressure firms are under and the compliance requirements they have to meet. That's why we've developed a modern, powerful, and modular platform that can manage your client data, from onboarding through the life cycle of your customer to offboarding, all in a rapid and transparent way. So how does it work? Well, onboarding practices are often repetitive and complex, where you don't always have a clear picture of the data you might already hold on your client elsewhere in the business. Clients can also be repeatedly asked to provide the same information, which causes frustration and slows progress. Onboarding with iMeta CLM is different. The platform can leverage and reuse data you already hold. It can integrate, validate, and rapidly update external data, and can fetch data on your new clients. It can also understand the relationships between the beneficial owners and parent companies as well as the client, giving you a full picture of the legal entity hierarchy. Armed with an accurate, real-time single picture of your client and all your relationships with them in one place, makes it easier for you to understand the business you're engaging in. This single view will not only help you make sense of the risks, such as credit risk and compliance risk, but will also give you valuable business insights that can drive your profitability, enabling you to improve capital allocation and upsell and cross-sell products more effectively. iMeta CLM comes pre-configured with rules and workflows to help you comply with a multitude of regulations, including those for anti-money laundering, OTC regulations, investor protection, and tax. It also comes with out-of-the-box connectivity to external vendor data sources for company information, PEP, and sanctions data, and ID verification, delivering straight-through processing, reducing operational effort, and cutting onboarding times. But here's the clever bit. We can also master data, so you can understand what the data is and how it got there. You can also reuse the data you capture on a single entity across all the roles and relationships where you interact with them, massively reducing the operational effort whilst providing that all-important single client view. Designed from the ground up to cope with an evolving business and regulatory environment, it's easy to make changes and quick to deploy them. All elements of the customization, such as the data model, workflows, and business rules, are made separately from the platform code via configuration files, meaning you can customize your solution without compromising your ability to upgrade it in the future, safeguarding your investment. Our clever technology also automates key development tasks, so changes can be implemented in production much faster. Being nimble and affecting business change more quickly and cheaply ensures you can compete within a rapidly evolving market. So don't be constrained by your systems. Streamline your onboarding process, focus on your business goals, and engage and transform your customers' experience.
Interesting.
Our mission is to deliver Brexit on the 31st of October for the purpose of uniting and re-energising our great United Kingdom and making this country the greatest place on earth.
Could you imagine a United Kingdom without Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales? Well, some believe that the UK would fall apart after a no-deal Brexit.
There's already calls in Scotland for another referendum on the Union. New PM Boris Johnson is considering direct rule in Northern Ireland, which could in theory unite the island of Ireland. And in Wales, there's fears the EU can impose tariffs on farming products.
So could this really be the beginning of the end of the United Kingdom? The UK has been together for hundreds of years, since the Acts of Union were passed in 1707.
And while the awesome foursome, as Johnson called them, has had their ups and downs, the Union has remained intact. Now, with the uncertainty of a looming exit from the European Union just along the horizon, could this all be about to change? Keeping to tradition, Boris Johnson began his nationwide tour as Prime Minister in Scotland, meeting First Minister Nicola Sturgeon and Scottish Conservative leader Ruth Davidson, who were both strongly against leaving without a deal. During the recent visit, it was visibly clear that tensions were high with the First Minister. Sturgeon believes Boris is sending the UK on the inevitable path to no-deal Brexit, which she believes would be catastrophic to Scotland and the whole of the UK.
I made abundantly clear to Boris Johnson my opposition to Brexit and to a no-deal Brexit, and also made it clear to him that the people of Scotland should be able to chart their own course and choose their own future, not have that future imposed upon them.
In 2014, the people of Scotland voted not to become an independent state by 55.3% to 44.7% after a referendum was called to decide its future. But now, as Scotland faces being taken out of the EU against the will of its Remain majority, come what may, do or die and deal or no deal, Sturgeon has said another independence referendum is highly likely.
On the other side, Boris has refused to rule out blocking a second referendum on Scottish independence.
And things aren't that much easier for Boris on his own side. Ruth Davidson, whilst backing Boris's ambition to get a deal through Brussels, won't be so forthcoming if he continues to plough ahead with plans to leave the UK out of the EU without a deal.
I said that I wanted to see the same level of energy and vigour that's going into no-deal planning, going into trying to get a deal. I wanted to see the sort of shuttle diplomacy that's going to be required if we're going to see changes that can be brought back to the House of Commons, and I received the assurances that I was looking for.
Which might then lead to Wales also reassessing its place in the Union.
If this Prime Minister has a positive pursuit of a no-deal Brexit as his idea of what the future of the United Kingdom needs, then he will certainly find no support for that here in Wales.
The First Minister of Wales, Mark Drakeford, has already hinted that being in the UK isn't unconditional, and that independence has to be seriously considered if Scotland breaks away from the UK.
I emphasised to the Prime Minister the catastrophic effect that would have on the Welsh economy.
Before meeting with Drakeford on his next stop, Mr Johnson visited a chicken farm after threats of civil unrest in rural areas of Wales were made by its farmers' union. The farming industry is worth more than £6 billion to the Welsh economy, and Welsh farmers are heavily reliant on free trade with the EU.
If the UK left the EU without an agreement, Wales would likely face significant tariffs on their farming exports to EU countries.
No deal is on the table because of the fact that we have a very belligerent European Union who, instead of focusing on a deal that was good for all of us, wanted to break up the United Kingdom, something, of course, which no British Prime Minister should be a part of.
But Boris has assured he's first and foremost committed to striking a deal with Brussels.
We will look after the farming sector.
How exactly will you look after?
We will make sure that they have the support that they need, that if there are markets that are going to be tricky, that we help them to find new markets, that we have interventions that are aimed to support them and their income.
In the final leg of his whistle-stop tour, Johnson then met with representatives from the 5 parties of Northern Ireland, with big hopes of trying to convince the DUP and Sinn Féin to restart the power-sharing government of Stormont, which collapsed in January 2017 after a number of disputes between the two parties.
Clearly, the people of Northern Ireland have been without a government, without Stormont for 2 years and 6 months, so my prime focus this morning is to do everything I can to help that to get up and running again.
Since 1998, the Good Friday Agreement has largely kept a fragile peace between the two sides after 30 years of violence. Now the worry is that dramatic changes to the makeup of Northern Ireland could lead to clashes reigniting.
We've challenged them very strongly on their policy. We've set out very clearly that this would be catastrophic for the Irish economy, for Irish livelihoods, for our society, for our politics, and for our peace accord.
Sinn Féin leader Mary Lou MacDonald repeated her demands to Boris that he must include a border poll in his Brexit planning in case of a no deal. This could essentially unite the island of Ireland, further threatening the foundations of the UK. Westminster has also refused to deny that Boris might well step in to introduce direct rule over the region.
Direct rule is not acceptable, and we're not going backwards. We can only go forwards. St Andrews Agreement removed the ability for the British government to go backwards and to roll back on direct rule. So it's not acceptable to me, and it certainly wouldn't be acceptable to the Irish government, I would expect also.
As the PM is dead set on taking us out of the EU on the 31st of October, with or without a deal, the future of the UK as we know it hangs in the balance. And whether Scots would rather leave the UK to join the EU remains to be seen.
Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Interesting video. Hope you all enjoyed that video, guys. Thank you for joining me, and I will catch you all on the next stream and broadcast. Peace.